What's up? You're muted, but it actually looked like you jumped a little bit.
I do this every time. I'm always on mute waiting, and then you say what's up, and I'm just sitting there in silence.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are
Did I
you?
scare you a little bit? It looked
Yeah,
like you
kind
jumped.
of, because I'm actually looking at my Facebook ads right now, turning some of them off. And I wasn't quite prepared, and the what's up got me.
That's awesome. That's usually my goal. I try to scare everybody else that joins.
You won. Good job.
How are you doing today?
We're good. Yeah, we're getting some warmer weather, so that's always a plus when you're in dark,
What is
dreary.
do you know the Fahrenheit over there? So for everybody that doesn't know, this is Anna Beck. Anna
Hey.
Beck is in Germany. She's living the expat
Yeah,
life.
I am living the expat life.
And she's a top seller. We're going to get into all of that. Now, back to what's important. What is the temperature over there right now?
It got up to like 40 today, or 45.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, it's like
You in Germany, I mean, you guys have full-blown winters, right? I mean, like
not where we're at. It's pretty moderate. Like it bounces between like 32 and 45 in the winter, so it's not bad.
wow, that isn't bad at all. When you lived in the States, where were you from?
The last place we lived was Florida. So, but
Oh,
we've kind
okay.
of been everywhere now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that must be
we have
nice.
no home.
Yeah, well, that's okay too. That can be freeing in its own way.
It is. We
When you
love
don't
it.
have the obligations and the things that kind of tie you down.
Yeah, the world's my playground, is what I say.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, everybody, welcome to the greatest, most amazing, definitely the best e-commerce show in the universe. Probably the best show taking place live right now anywhere on the internet. Probably
Absolutely.
watching every single week is the only way, without ever missing a show, is the only way. It's the number one way to increase your sales. Let's say. And this is Coffee with Michael. And today we have Anna Beck on. She's a top seller with us. She's been a top seller for a while. She's a big time favorite here in ShineOn land. Everybody knows who Anna Beck is. Now, if you don't, you definitely will by the end of this. And you'll probably grow to love her like the community has. Anna came on got our attention. Let's see, it was Mother's Day, I think, of 20
last year. Yeah.
Good
I'm
grief. Is it
coming
2021? Time
Yeah,
flies.
this month actually I think might be my anniversary of my first ShineOn sale.
Wow.
I
Yeah. So
know.
that's the other thing I love. So here's really what I love about you. You're a mom. You have a normal life.
Yes.
Like most of the people watching this.
Yep.
You do this kind of in your spare time because you're shuttling your kids around and doing all the stuff that Germany's got you busy with.
Yep.
And you've sold on Amazon. You really cracked. I'm sorry. You're selling on Amazon, but you really cracked Etsy. Etsy is where you first got our attention, and you crushed it for Mother's Day of 2021. I know that was a combination of Etsy and Amazon sales. We're going to get into that.
Yeah, we can
and
talk
now
about that.
It sounds like you've got your Etsy thing going. You're definitely focusing on it, but now it sounds like Amazon is really starting to kick off for you.
Yeah, well, actually, Amazon and Etsy always kind of worked at the same time for me, but I didn't talk about Amazon because it was really, really hard to get set up. And so Etsy was it was easy to give instructions. So I'm really excited because a lot of things have changed in this last year that Amazon has definitely become more accessible for people. And yeah, we'll talk more about it soon.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to getting into that. So if you want to learn more about Amazon and how Anna is using it to absolutely crush, and I've got some revenue numbers I'm going to share with you in just a minute, stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot. But first, you know how we do things around here. I want you to like this post, like it, give it some love, give it some attention. Tell Facebook that the content we provide here is a maze. And I also want you to drop some emojis in the chat. I like this. I picked this one out today. This is my little, what do they call this? The money face, maybe? Give me some money faces in the chat here. Give us some money faces. In the meantime, there's a little bit of a delay. I'm not going anywhere until we got some money faces, guys. So start dropping them in the chat now. In the meantime, Dave says, woo, woo. This was after I announced you on the chat. Costa, greetings from Naples, Florida. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh,
it must be
sounds
tough.
good.
It
Sounds
is
good.
literally, I get to brag because it's 18 degrees where I'm at.
Ooh, Midwest weather is the worst.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it was last Wednesday, I think it was. It was 65. No, I'm sorry. It was Monday this week, I think. It was 65 degrees. And Wednesday, we got like 5 inches of snow. It was so freaking weird. And it's 18 degrees now. So that's always fun. All right. Mauricio says this is the best show anywhere in the universe. I agree. So does Gary. That's awesome. Facebook user says we love Anna.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, the Facebook user is generally a pretty good person from what I've learned. They're on every single one of my Coffee with Michaels, so they at least got that going for them.
There you go.
Let's see. I'm not going to forget the toast. Don't you worry, buddy. I've made several mental notes this morning not to forget the toast. John says I watched Anna stream the other day too. More sales to come. Yeah, so Anna streamed yesterday, wasn't it?
I think we were 2 days ago.
Yeah, with Mario and Matt Bah.
Yeah.
So there's some big ShineOn sellers, and she streamed on that over in her group, which is you just recently renamed it.
I did. High Profit Pod. High Profit Pod. But you know what? I think it's a little mouthful to say. So as soon as Facebook lets me change it, I'm going to switch it back to ShineOn Selling Strategies.
Well, it's like High Profit Pod : ShineOn Selling Strategies.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I'm going to flip it because it's a lot easier to say.
but anyway, if you like Anna, you want to get more of her stuff, go check out the group. It's pretty cool. Here's Matt Bah representing with some money faces.
Okay, I don't know if you learned this about Matt Bah, but it's actually Matt Bay.
I thought it was Bah.
I asked him.
No. This is too confusing, Matt.
So you can choose either, but it will do the job.
I think Matt's going to need to make a trip down to the courthouse and get his last name cleaned up. This process is a little too messy. And think, Matt, you probably got 40 good years left, man. Do you really want to suffer that kind of name confusion every time you go to the bank? Pass that on to
his children?
Yeah, it's think of your offspring, man. Future generations. All right, let's keep going. Mauricio, he's always hitting me with the best emojis here. We got a UFO, a penguin, and some money faces. There we go. Gary here wins the money face prize. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Let's keep going here. We've got some updates we'll run through quickly, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes, the good stuff. All right. So, Julia, I can't believe it. Last week, I made my very first ShineOn sale after being on Etsy for 1.5 months. What a feeling that was. And exactly 1 week ago, I started running my very first Facebook ad. I can't believe this. I can't believe that this is my result. I went from no sales to this while still being in the testing phase. And I was convinced, I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. I was convinced I wouldn't be able to manage Facebook ads as I've never done it before. All I can say is when you feel like nothing is working, don't give up. I love seeing testimonials like this one, specifically the ones where somebody's in there and they're hanging on and they're not seeing results, but they just keep following the process. And then eventually it's like they break through. And all of us, anybody that's ever made a sale was in that place for a while. It takes time to develop the skill and learn the ropes and figure out, what you're doing wrong so you can kind of course correct until you get there. So congratulations, Julia. Thank you so much for sharing this and the screenshot. You've got some swag coming your way today. The reason I'm laughing is because guess who forgot the freaking toast again? So at the end of this, we are doing a toast, everybody. Do not worry. The world is still in safe hands. Please do not lose your faith in me. All right, let's go. Werner here. Nothing like waking up to an order. First wall art order on Etsy. So wall art here is metal art. He's selling metal art on Etsy, $75 in revenue. It's pretty good AOV with $40 profit. Congratulations, Werner. Thanks for the screenshot and the post in the group. You got some swag coming your way, buddy. Brooke, officially sold my first item. I checked my account when I woke up and bam. What an amazing feeling that the hard work is starting to pay off. I'm so grateful for ShineOn and all its resources. Congratulations, Brooke. $44.95 in revenue, $23 in profit. If you're new here, you'll notice here, she said, I'm grateful for ShineOn all its resources. One of the things we try to do here is provide tons and tons of educational content. If you're brand new, we really try to help you get on your feet. So right inside of the platform or the app, you have a little mini course right there that's how to get your first sale. We'll take you from knowing nothing about what we do to walking you through the whole process to hopefully getting your first sale. We also do challenges. Right now, there's a challenge going on. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. That are free to join. We do them in the run up to every single holiday. If you're new, it's a great place to go, meet like-minded people, get some friends, be part of a tribe that's all trying to achieve the same goal. And you also kind of learn the ropes. There are tips and tricks in there, things to help you get on your feet. Plus, we do shots of espresso every single week where our media buying team that running their own internal brands, they're putting together education, material, content. They're packaging it all up in these really nice PDF guides. And we publish those once a week, completely free of charge right here in the Facebook group. Plus, we do these. Coffee with Michael's the best, most educational show on the planet every single week, completely free of charge. So really, in our YouTube channel, stacked full of stuff. Plus, we have coaching, which is paid. We have courses, which are paid. But it's really unbelievable the amount of content we try to bring to you every week. So at any rate, Brooke, I'm glad that you've been able to benefit from some of that information, and it's helped you get your first sale. If we can be even a tiny bit of your success, it means all the world to us. So congrats, Brooke. Thanks for sharing this. You got some swag coming your way. If you want to get some free swag, each week we randomly draw 2 to 5 posts from the group, and we give away swag. So if you get featured here, you're going to get a t-shirt. You're going to get a hoodie. I don't know what all's in our swag store anymore. If you want to go check it out, ShineOnmerch.com. We'll send you a free coupon code. You can pick out anything you want inside the store. To get selected, right, you just need to make a testimonial post with a screenshot of your sales. And that can be like your first sale can be a new milestone. Someone posted the first metal art sale. That's acceptable. First sale from Etsy, Amazon, reaching $100,000 in revenue, whatever it is, post it. And then any posts you make with tips and tricks and added value, we love those too. So share all those here. We'll pick you up and you can get some free swag. Okay. Before we get hit by a meteor here, we probably need to do the toast.
Let's do it.
I think, for a minute there, global warming had actually started to speed up. The amount of CO2 in the atmosphere had started to increase at a rapid rate. Climate scientists everywhere were starting to freak out a little bit. But don't worry, because we're about to reverse all of it with the Digital Marketer's Toast. So crisis averted, people. All right, raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, and join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Drink up. Not only, if you just put a hot cup of bean juice to your lips, not only did you participate in saving the entire planet from some undeserved, unanticipated catastrophe, but you also just got this incredible dopamine release in your brain, right? And you may have even felt tingles somewhere on your body. And the level of it, your brain is kicking into high gear. You're ready to learn. And the level of excitement that you're feeling about all this just increased. This entire Coffee with Michael just went from an A to an A+, like that. That's why the Digital Marketer's Toast is important. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
I know. That was a rhetorical question. All right.
Of course you're right.
Sorry. I have fun with these. Okay. Let's keep going. Latest news. I want to congratulate John Burgess. You saw him in the chat a little while ago. He is now our head of global accounts. He got a little promotion. So he was head of EU accounts. Now he's head of global accounts. He is based in Amsterdam, and he's just done a really great job on the accounts team. He's just a fantastic employee here at ShineOn all the way around. He's constantly jumping in the trenches and helping out wherever we need help. We've seen John do fulfillment before. I think when I was in St. Pete, I saw him take out a bag of trash at one point. I mean, whatever the problem is, he is on it. He grabs a bull by the horns, takes lots of ownership. He really cares very highly about our sellers in the company. So we feel really good about giving him this position. So congratulations, John. You deserve it. If any of you know John or have talked with John, or you're a seller that's benefited from John, make sure you tell him congrats here in the chat. Give him some congrats and some little hand clappers, what have yous, and let him know how much you appreciate him. All right. Lucky in Love necklace is here. So this was launched, I think it was last week, maybe the week before. But just quick announcement, it's here. The cool thing about this, if you do any kind of video, this is a fantastic product because that little piece in the middle here, it's floating. It dangles around a little bit. So when you're making like your video ad or your TikTok ad or whatever it is with your phone, that little piece is just it's moving around, it's shimmering, it's capturing light. It's really cool. It just stands out in the video. It captures a lot of attention. And this thing did really well for us in all of our video ads. So if that's you, check this out. Not to mention, you've got the lucky kind of play on things. I actually think this is going to start to sell really well. Maybe even as we get closer to St. Patrick's Day, because it's kind of shaped like a horseshoe. That's where the lucky bit comes from. Also, keep in mind with that horseshoe shape, you might be able to get into some interesting niches that other jewelry items don't have easy access to. And the perceived value of this item is it's high because of all the cubic zirconia, the bedazzly bits of it. So anyways, make sure you check this out. Lucky in Love is the name. Base cost $14.50 on the standard box, $24.50 on the mahogany style. So go check it out. Then we also have the Love Knot earring and necklace set. So you can sell these, I believe, as a set, and then you can also sell these as add-on items. So you're going to want to go make sure you check this out. This will really help complete a gift. So we're right in the tail end of shipping cutoff for Valentine's Day. But this is a great gift. I mean, Mother's Day is around the corner. Then we have anniversary season. Then we're going to be right back into Q4. It's going to go by way faster than you think it is. And having the earring set on here, you'll be shocked at how many people will just buy it because it really rounds out the gift. It makes it feel complete. In fact, I even think there's kind of a psychological principle taking place where if they see the earrings offered and they only buy the necklace, they don't feel like they're leaving something on the table. They feel like they're walking out of the store with only half of the actual gift. So make sure you add that to your store and take advantage of it. If you sell it all as a single set, it's $18.50 for the standard box, $28.50 for the mahogany style. And the minimum suggested selling prices on these are huge. And I promise you, if you pair this with a winning message card, you'll get at least $100 out of this. You could easily push this to $99.95. People will buy it all day long because it's a great value and it looks amazing. It's a really great looking gift. Have you sold either of these, Anna?
I have not. I am excited about the set though with the earrings and the necklace. I'm going to take my designs that have been selling and add those all to these products. So it's cool. It's always fun to have new products and new options.
Yeah, well, get ready because this year we have got a ton coming, and we also our pipeline. We made some internal improvements to kind of our release process, and I think we have at least 2 or 3 products every single month for the whole year that we're going to be releasing. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. If we weren't the best print-on-demand company already, which I'm pretty sure we were, by the end of this year, it will be no freaking contest. It will be we are the 4-minute mile right here, people. The entire world, their heads are going to turn. They're going to go, what? It's going to be awesome. So, and then, everybody will copy us next year. That tends to be what happens around here, but that's okay. That's okay. We like to be trendsetters. And you know what? Those other print-on-demand companies, they need help too, This is hard stuff. It took us a while to crack the code. So more love to them. All right. Shipping deadlines. I just wanted to call out, we updated the shipping deadline on metal art. The metal art cutoff is tomorrow, everybody. It's tomorrow. It was the 6th, which would have been Sunday. Now it's tomorrow, which is Saturday. So if you want to make sure the item gets there by Valentine's Day, you need to have your order paid for. So your buyer comes in, they buy from you, then we invoice you. You need to make sure that invoice is paid by midnight tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, right? To ensure it gets there by Valentine's Day. So you need to make sure your invoice as a seller is paid to ShineOn by midnight tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, if you want to make sure it gets there by Valentine's Day. All right. Lead up to Love Challenge. Tammy actually asked me to give a quick shout out here. If you signed up for this challenge, you need to make sure you're looking in your email. I think she said that they found that a lot of the registration emails and the invites to the Facebook group are going to the promotions folder. So make sure in your email you're going to the promo folder and you're looking for an email from us. It'll contain your invite to join our Facebook group. So go make sure you do that. All right. We're getting close here. Coaching.shineon.com. If you're interested in coaching, so look, we have a gajillion free resources already, right? But as you kind of level up in your journey and you gain more and more knowledge, and maybe you figured out how to get your first sale and your first 10 sales, and maybe you're at 100 sales, but you really want to know how to put some fuel on the fire and take things to the next level, our coaching is a great place to go. Coaching.shineon.com. We have 2 packages right now. We're probably going to be revamping this a little bit soon in the future just to add more value and make sure that we're keeping everybody happy. It's kind of a work in progress. We just launched this in October, so it's a little bit new. Coaching.shineon.com, though, if you'd like to be part of that. It's a great group. It's led by Kirsta. Kirsta is probably one of our top sellers of all time at ShineOn. He might be the #1 seller. I'm not really sure, but he's sold that much that I'm not sure. I think his total ShineOn revenue at this point is like nearing $8 million. So he has absolutely, he just crushes it. The guy's a monster. So if you want to learn from him, and again, I think he is like the best of the best, at least in our little world here. Go join the coaching program. It's a great way to kind of get right inside his head. And then also keep in mind, we're constantly testing, constantly experimenting, constantly branching out to other platforms. And as we learn new things, it's shared there first. Kirsta makes sure that, you know, all the latest and greatest, the cutting edge stuff is right in our coaching group. So go check that out. All right. Shots of espresso. Again, I talked about our free resources. You can get those every week in the group. If you're interested, you can go to the group, type shot of espresso, right? Just search for that, and these will pop up. Another thing you can do is you can go inside the group, and up at the very top, there's a button that says featured. Click that. Anything that we've marked as an announcement in the group is right here in this featured section of the group. And, you know, that will include anything that we find noteworthy or important. So product releases, internal announcements, new features that come out, all that stuff is right here. The shots of espresso, the coffee with Michaels. So if you want to, you know, binge watch all the coffee with Michaels, which is a great way to spend a weekend, if you ask me, you can get all of that right here. So go check it out. All right. All right. So before I take the screen down here, let me catch up on the comments, and then I want to show everybody your screenshot, Anna.
Okay.
Your Amazon sale. So
okay,
you've
cool.
been a great sport. You've been a great sport.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks for hanging out. We're going to get to you in just a second.
Oh, no rush.
The doctor will call you back in a moment. All right. So Julia says, congrats, John. Thumbs up to John. Lots of congrats. Thank you, everybody. Matt says the next name of my store should be Bedazzly Bits. Don't go register that now. You better leave that. You better leave that domain open. If I go look for this domain after this call and it's registered, I'm going to be flustered. All right. I've got some questions for you, Anna, which we will get to. If you have a question for Anna, try to sit on it. We're going to do some Q&A a little bit towards the end of this. And Anna will answer some of your questions.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay. Let's get into it. So here's the screenshot I really want to show you. So this is Anna's Amazon sales results. So you're looking at what, 13 months worth of sales here.
Yeah. So I just did it from January. I probably started uploading these in March. Realistically, I just didn't know the exact date. So that was just easy. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So probably more like 9 months, 10 months worth of sales, something like that.
Yeah.
11 months. Yeah.
12 months.
Time is flying.
I know, right?
But $242,000 on Amazon. Now I have a question for you. How much do you do any PPC on Amazon, or is this all organic?
This is all organic. All the
That's
sweet, sweet organic sales that I can get.
that's amazing. And so what's your margin on this percentage wise?
Um, I have my prices at $50, and so I'm making about $20 per item.
So your margin is a little less than half, 40%,
Mm-hmm.
because Amazon fees start
Because
to
of
stack up.
yeah, you have Amazon fees, yeah, which
Okay,
are
so
pretty
you're looking
high.
at, what is that, like something like 80, 90 grand?
It was good.
$96,000. That's amazing. And well, what's amazing about it is it's just, okay, look, everybody here that joins these, they want to know, can this be a full-time job? Can this replace my full-time job? Can it be significant side income, right? Can it help me pay down my student debt or pay for my house or whatever? I mean, some people, when I first got started, I was looking for some side income. I was like, you know what? Doing this corporate thing, getting like a 5% raise every year just ain't for me. I was like, I want to significantly level up my income. And I found that if I owned my own business and I grew my business 20%, I gave myself a 20% raise, right? For example.
Yeah.
A lot of people are wondering if that works. And here you just pulled in. I hope you don't mind me sharing the numbers and getting into it like that.
No,
You
that's
just pulled
fine.
in basically $96,000 in profit, right?
Yeah.
That's after COGS, it's after Amazon fees, all organically.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't want to falsely paint this picture that you were like, had your feet kicked up on the coffee table, sipping
No.
like, huh?
No, it wasn't like that at all. It's actually really excruciating at first.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So, yeah, the hard thing is that it's actually pretty uncharted territory, Amazon is. So, I had to figure out how to get everything set up. You guys have probably heard me say before, I'm a really lazy seller. I don't want to do anything extra more than I have to. And so having an integration was absolute for me. I was like, I can't do anything unless there's an integration. And I had said that when I found ShineOn. I said, I'm not doing anything with this company unless I can integrate my products, because I've done manual orders before. And it's really, really time consuming to always be doing manual stuff, going back and forth between stores, checking to see if things are done. And so, yeah, it was very uncharted territory. We didn't have the right pictures at that time. So I was having to set up an integration, figure out the picture problem. I mean, it was just never ending. And I am happy to say that a year later, ShineOn has come out with new stuff. I've learned a lot. Some other things have happened. And it's now we are all at a perfect place that Amazon is available really for everyone. And you don't have to go through what I did.
Yeah, I remember the Mother's Day where you really, kick things off. I remember that some amount of your sales came from Amazon. You were like, don't tell anybody that, because you were like, I cannot teach people how to do this. You're like,
I
it's way
did.
too much.
Yeah. Because I was getting, at the time I was just getting so many questions, so many personal messages, and I was just like, all right, Etsy's easy, right? There was a clear path for Etsy. There was no clear path to Amazon, and it took me hours. Oh, it was painful. So yeah, I'm glad that things have gotten way better and that Amazon is just smooth sailing now.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
this is also, I just want to highlight for everybody, especially anybody that's new, this is just Amazon. You're selling on Etsy too.
Yeah. So probably, as people have heard, I like to work Amazon and Etsy together because you can do the work
Why not?
once and really reap the results on both platforms without doing much more work for one or the other. So yeah, I love both of them. I talk about both of them, but I will say that Amazon is my absolute first love. I talked about Etsy a lot before. I still love Etsy. It's obviously been a great opportunity, but I have sold on Amazon for over 8 years now. I love buying on Amazon. I just kind of love Amazon. And it is the biggest marketplace in the world. So you can't really deny how big the
Yeah.
opportunity is on Amazon. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you did this measly eensy teensy teeny weeny 96 grand profit on Amazon just by kicking your feet up on the table. And then you also made a ton of money on Etsy too. We don't have to get into all of that, but you used, I don't want to say the same strategy necessarily, but it's like the same category of strategy anyway.
Yeah, it's the same category of strategy. There's some tweaks because each platform is not exactly the same. So there's definitely tweaks that you have to make the platform work. But yes, the concept and the strategies that I use get applied more or less to both platforms to make them take off and scale. So that's really fun.
You know, so one of the different, I just want to point out for anybody that's new and you're trying to like kind of evaluate, like, where do I go here? You need to understand that you have what I kind of call these direct response marketplaces, which are like the Facebook, the TikToks, these places where you're going to be running these ads and basically trying to get impulse purchases out of people, right? Like they're not shopping. Like think of somebody on Facebook or TikTok. They're being entertained. They're connecting on Facebook anyway. They're connecting with friends. And then they see your ad, right? And what you're trying to do is gather an impulse buy. So we call that kind of direct response, right? And you've got to be really good with your ads, really good with your copy, really good with your the offers. You know, you need to have all your pages figured out to make sure that you can get a high conversion rate and you can actually convert the user once they get there and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of one skill set, right? And then they're like with Etsy and Amazon, it's more intent based, right? Because they're search engines basically. So somebody goes to Amazon, somebody goes to Etsy, they type something in, they're searching for a gift. They might type necklace for mom or Mother's Day necklace for grandma or whatever it is, right? The keyword. And the hope is that you have a listing on there that ranks for that specific keyword and that they see your listing and they buy your product. Right. So when Anna says she's getting organic ads, it's kind of that type. Organic sales. It's kind of that type. She's not running ads on Facebook or TikTok. She's basically made listings. She's tried to optimize them with SEO, right? With the right keywords. And then the hope is that when people search for those keywords, her stuff is at the top because she's done it correctly and they buy her stuff over competitor stuff.
Yeah.
Is that basically how that works in a nutshell?
Yeah. In a nutshell, that is exactly correct.
All right. So tell me if you're new here. Let's start getting into Amazon a little bit. Let's say you're new, or let's say you're new to Amazon. We'll put it that way. So maybe you've sold some stuff with ShineOn before. You kind of get the platform, you get the ecosystem. Start walking us through like how on earth do you even get started with Amazon?
Okay. So if you're going to sell on Amazon, you have to have a Shopify account because you need to either be able to integrate or you need to be able to place a manual order if you choose not to do an integration. And that having the app is the only way to do that. So through your Shopify account. If you want to, you do not have to pay $30 a month for Shopify. You can just get their light plan, which is $9 a month, and it will allow you to access the Shopify app and any integration you want to use. And so that is your first starting point, is you need the app. You gonna say
so
something?
It's Shopify, download the ShineOn app.
Yep.
And then when you talk about an integration or manual, so if it's an integration, I assume that's another app you're adding to your Shopify store?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So with integrations, an integration allows you to speak with Shopify to another platform. So ShineOn has an integration. They have the Etsy integration and it's free. It's great. You can upload your product for free. You don't have to pay for this integration and it takes your product to Etsy. And then if you get a sale, the integration communicates back to Shopify, which communicates back to ShineOn saying, hey, fulfill this order. And then they also fulfill all the tracking information as well and closes out that sale. So with Shopify, you have to have an Amazon. You either have to have an app or do manually. And with the app, that's exactly the app works just like the ShineOn app, where you use it to communicate Shopify to your platform. So in this case, Amazon. And then when you get a sale, let me go back. The app will also help you create the listing in Amazon. And that's what is so awesome about apps, is because it can take a lot of time to fill out listings, like one step at a time. So when you have an app, it has all these templates set up and it will just make a listing for you on Amazon. And so that saves you a lot of time, especially if you're uploading, 5, 10 products a day. You don't want to be doing that manually. And integration is key to that.
So do
So
you use an app?
yeah, absolutely. Because you guys know I'm a lazy seller. I don't want to do any of that stuff. It's easier for me to integrate and then make changes to the listing if I need to, or add stuff, than it is to just create a listing from scratch.
And so
So
you're actually going to have to help me. I don't even know this. So with the app that helps you create the listing,
yeah,
and then when you get orders, I assume that the app helps kind of pull the
yep,
order out of Amazon and plop it into Shopify.
yep.
Now, does our app automatically pick up on the order?
Yeah, because it pulls it into Shopify as if it's an order, and so ShineOn
Perfect.
pulls that. Yeah, so the two apps that you can try, the one I use is Said Commerce, which is my favorite. I love Said Commerce for so many reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is they have great customer support. So it getting set up, they can help troubleshoot problems, and I just know they're really reliable. So that's why I've gone with Said Commerce over other apps. I know that some people might use Cadisto, but I started there and moved over to Said Commerce when they got their integration, and that worked really well.
Now
So,
with
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, do you mind if I ask?
Yeah,
I've got
keep
a ton of
going.
questions here. So with Amazon, do you have to worry about, so like, look, on Facebook, Zuckerberg wakes up in a bad mood and I think he yells at somebody and like 20% of the advertisers get banned like that morning, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Etsy's kind of weird, like because if you're new and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
getting some
they're
sales all of a sudden or whatever it is, Etsy's kind of robot wakes up and they'll kind
they're
of,
weird initiation.
yeah, they'll ding you and then you got to take a while to get your account back.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
this
yeah.
happen on Amazon? Is Bezos as crazy as Zuckerberg? That's the question.
You know what? I would actually say I don't know if I've really heard of anybody getting shut down right when they start, unless they're breaking terms of service.
So it's
So,
all terms of service.
yeah, the biggest thing, number one thing is people copywriting, like taking stuff that they're not supposed to be taking and using, um, trademark
Yeah,
infringement,
trademark. Yep, that makes sense.
pixel to pixel products from other sellers. Yeah, that will get you shut down. That's like the number one problem that sellers will have to get their account shut down. Or they use even using keywords, the wrong keywords can get your account banned. So like a lot of people don't know that emoji is actually trademarked. And so they might have something with an emoji on it and they'll title it and say emoji, but that is trademarked. So
But
you
do
do
they
have to be careful.
when they ban, like how forgiving are they when they
They're
ban
not
you? Is it,
forgiving. Yeah, they're not forgiving.
so are you done forever or do you just have to make a new account or like how does
um
that work?
You know what? I think this is something that we don't need to go a lot into, because if you're playing it safe, you really can build a very sustainable business. Um, and it happens, I would say it happens less than probably most of the other platforms that we most commonly sell on. Um, and so I don't really think about
Yeah.
Amazon that much in
This
that way.
this this actually this happened the last time I was talking to you too when we were getting into Amazon. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
it's because I've got like PTSD from
Okay,
being out here in Facebook world because
I
it's like,
totally get this. So I've been doing Facebook ads with Mario, and I'm like, I feel like I have a new place of stress in my heart that I never had before. And it's because of Facebook ads. They are
well,
stressful. Amazon and Etsy are just fun. Like, it's so fun.
yeah, I don't know the proper analogy with Facebook, but they're a necessary evil because they're still the king of scale. You just
Yeah,
cannot
yeah. The
scale.
opportunity is
But
crazy.
but the problem is like it just you have to guard your heart and mind against developing like a victim mentality when you use them
Yeah.
because you will get abused for no reason. It's like having
Yeah.
a drunken alcoholic parent or something like that that just like
Yes.
gets in a bad mood and boom, your account's gone, or they need to do an identity check or whatever.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
anyways,
No, I would
okay.
say it's
So
not comparable.
sounds
Nothing to
like
worry
we're
about.
saying that Facebook is still the worst. And then maybe Etsy, but like
Etsy is
it's
the worst just to start out with, and then it's like smooth sailing. And then Etsy or Amazon, you're just good to go as long as you play by the rules.
yeah, that's good. So basically, Amazon, read the terms of service, don't break them. You're good to go.
Yes.
That's a
Yep.
much more level playing field than
Yeah, it is.
probably
And
anything else that's out there right now.
I shouldn't make it just sound like everything is good. I mean, there is risk on any platform that you're going to sell on. So yes, in the hierarchy we talked about, Facebook is the worst, then Etsy's probably, and then Amazon. But we're in e-commerce; anything could happen. So know your rules, do your best, and plan for a rainy day.
Okay,
And
so
then
let's
move
keep
on and
going.
have fun.
Let's keep going here. So,
Yeah,
okay, if you want to do this, make sure I got the steps right. You have to have Shopify. You
Yep.
need to have the ShineOn app.
Yep.
Then what you need to do is have the said commerce app, right?
Yep.
And said commerce will integrate with your Amazon account. And then when
Yep.
somebody buys on Amazon, said commerce grabs the order from Amazon, plops it into Shopify. And
Yes.
then the ShineOn app grabs the order out of Shopify and sends it to our factory so we can fulfill it. Do I have all that right?
Yeah,
So
you
far?
have it. Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
if you don't want to go the integration route, say you're just starting out and you're like, hey, I just want to test this out, you could potentially do manual. You could manually make a listing. If you get an order, you could do a manual order through Shopify for the product that's sold, and you can self-fulfill that way. But I do recommend an integration because it's business savvy. It just makes sense.
And so I assume too, you recommend probably everybody starts out with fulfilled by merchant, right? Where we're just
Yeah.
using ShineOn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what FBM is for some people who may not know what fulfilled by merchant is. There's two ways you can sell on Amazon. It's called for FBM, fulfilled by merchant, or FBA, or which is fulfilled by Amazon. Fulfilled by merchant means that when you have a listing up in your FBM, that if somebody buys, you are responsible for fulfilling that order. So that means that as a seller, you're shipping the product, you're making sure it gets to the customer, you're responsible for that, and you do the customer service for that. Now, obviously, we have ShineOn doing our fulfillment, but that doesn't pass the responsibility on to them. They're just doing their job, and we are still responsible for that sale on Amazon. So that is FBM. And this is such a fun business model because you can set up essentially hundreds of these little like income tests and see what catches through FBM, and you don't have to pay to have products like on in stock. That listing can live up there, and it can live up there forever. It could potentially, you could have something that's up there for a year, and then a trend happens, and you could have something take off. You never know. But that's what's fun about Amazon is that's the potential with it. And then once you start getting sales, then you want to move to fulfilled by Amazon. And that's because there's a lot of benefits to having your products be fulfilled by Amazon. And one of those is that your products become Prime. And I don't even need to know, or I don't need to explain what Prime is because everybody has Prime, right? But customers can get their products in 2 days. And what's the best about that then is you extend your selling season next to your competitors by possibly a week, maybe even a week and a half, because your products are printed and you only need 2 days before the holiday to get your product to your customer. And so the potential is really awesome when you move to FBA.
And what does I'm curious in terms of the impact of your margin? Is FBA costly, or how does that work?
It changes your fees, but I have found that with the way that I do things, that because you don't have to pay for shipping per individual item, because you get the reduction in shipping once you have multiple items, right? Then you have higher fees in some ways, but it kind of works itself out to be equal to FBA and FBM.
Oh,
Does that
wow.
make
Really?
sense?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, kind of, you're kind of saying that it's a benefit to the customer and it will likely increase conversions, but it comes really at no cost to you as a seller.
Not much.
I guess the biggest kind of con, I guess you would say, is just that you as a seller have to buy some units in bulk to ship
Yes.
to an Amazon warehouse, right?
Right. So it does add an element of strategy that you have to learn specifically for Amazon. You do have to learn how to control your inventory, predict your inventory. So that is a new skill set, but if you're getting the sales and you're on the hottest
Yeah, I
platform in the
mean,
world, you just learn it and you deal, right?
if you're making 90 grand a year doing it, why not learn it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I guarantee there are people making a whole lot less in positions where they have to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So, it's
that's
just part of
awesome.
the game. And, once you have experience with it, you get better at it. Your skills get sharper, but that's how it is on any of these platforms and any print on demand product, right?
So now I think let's see. I think we basically covered kind of roughly speaking initial setup. I'm sure there's a whole lot we could go into when it comes to
There is
creating your accounts.
so much.
So I don't know that we're going to be able to get into all that here, but big picture, let's start talking about the listing itself. So I know with Facebook, and this is my background, is this direct response space.
Right.
And I've done some Etsy stuff too. But I know like in direct response, the image, the video, that is really kind of the number one mover in terms of increasing your click-through rate, which will
Mhm.
likely increase conversions down the line, all that kind of stuff. So like you spend a lot of time trying to get that part figured out. And then on the Etsy side, for example, one of the things I always spent time on was just making sure the image was crisp and clear and you could see the product. And that, like, because keep in mind when people type in a search term, they get search results back. And so they're not looking at a giant image on their screen, they're looking at a thumbnail. So
Right.
making sure that thumbnail is optimized and eye-catching and still kind of conveys the quality you want, all that kind of stuff is super important. So when it comes to Amazon, right, and you're making a
Yes.
new listing, tell me, like, what are the things you're thinking about? Like, how are you choosing which images? How are you putting your title? The keywords. I don't know if Amazon has like Etsy has tags, I think they're called.
Yeah,
Does
they call their
Amazon have
keywords
the
tags.
equivalent? Like, walk us through some of that. How does that work?
Yeah, okay. So, I would say that the first thing is that you need to have good SEO, because you need to know that if you're going to put your time into developing a product, that it has a chance to be found. So your SEO and your research around your keywords. So when we're talking about SEO, that means search engine optimization. And that means that when with your research there, you want to have keywords that you have a chance of actually showing up on. So if you only were to put Mother's Day gift in your title, nobody will find your product, because there are a million products on
Yeah.
Amazon that will have Mother's Day on that or in their keywords as well. So you really want to do your keyword research and see if you can find so many keywords. So on Etsy, you need at least 13 keywords. Amazon, you can do like that would be a good place to start. You could add some more, but you need to have a good range of keywords around a specific niche that will support sales on that product. So let's say you find something like super niche down, like super, super niche down. Like for example, if it was like, I'm trying to think of something that's just like bizarre almost. Like bizarre can be good, but if you don't have enough search volume on a keyword, you won't be found, and you won't get any sales because there's just not enough people buying on that. So you kind of have to have a sweet spot of having a lot of search volume, but having lower competition, so that when somebody searches something like stepmom gift, your product is getting shown on these algorithms. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. Well, I would also say the exact. I almost wish we could chart this out because I know exactly what you're saying here. But it also directly correlates to the passion someone may or may not have to buy. So I'll put it differently. I would say that if you go too broad, right, you're casting the net large. You're gonna get every fish in
Right.
the ocean in a sense, right?
Yes,
But the biggest
exactly.
problem is that people are not going to be that motivated to buy because it's too general, right?
Right.
They're
They're
not
just
going to
kind of
relate to the product
window
is
shopping.
yeah, is strongly. Like if it's just a Mother's Day necklace, it's just
Yep.
a Mother's Day necklace, right? But what if now I'm going to niche it down to use your
Perfect.
example. What if it was the horseshoe necklace and it was like a
Mhm.
Mother's Day necklace for moms that love horses or something,
Exactly.
right? It's like
Perfect.
it's like suddenly you've made a gift that fits into a niche, right? And
Yep.
whoever is searching for the gift, if they find that product, because there can't be that many of them out there, they're going to go, whoa, this is exactly what I'm looking
Exactly what
for.
I'm
Their motivation to buy is going to be higher. The problem is the more specific you get, the smaller the audience becomes, right?
Yes.
So it's like the
Yes,
more general
exactly.
you are, the bigger the audience, but the lower the motivation to buy. The
Mhm.
more specific you are, the smaller the audience, but the motivation to buy goes way up. So you want to find a sweet spot kind of
Yep.
in between the two if it's on a spectrum.
Yes, exactly. And it it is proven that the more specific you can get with your products and your keywords, the higher the conversion. So you don't need to be afraid of having, like 5,000 search volume. Um, that can be a big converter for you, because that is people who are looking for something very, very, very specific. And they'll see your product and they'll go, whoa, that's exactly spoken to me. So you are exactly right. Like, you just want to have that balance of having enough search volume to make consistent sales. You need enough people to keep coming to buy your product. And you don't want it to be too broad where it just gets lost with everybody else's product as well.
Totally. So it sounds like on the front end of this, before you're making designs and all that, there's some research that you're doing.
Yes.
What tools are you using to like kind of do research on Amazon for keywords and stuff like that?
Okay, cool. So I actually still use eRank a lot. I really like eRank because you can find keywords on it's usually typically an Etsy tool.
I didn't
But
even know it would work for Amazon.
Yeah, because you can still find low competition keywords. So they just apply, because like I said, they work together, right? Like the platforms work
Yeah,
together.
interesting. I mean, it makes sense. If there's a
Yeah.
search, if there are certain searches taking place on Etsy, I mean, you could probably bet they're taking place on Amazon too.
Yeah, like the search
Yeah,
intent
makes
is
sense.
pretty much all the same. So I personally still like eRank. I also will use Jungle Scout as well. Or I'm sorry, Helium
That's
10.
it. What is
Helium
it?
10.
Helium
Helium
10. Got it.
10.
Yeah, Jungle Scout is a tool also. It's just
Yeah,
what,
Jungle Scout
not as
is a
good.
tool.
Okay.
I just, for keyword research, Helium 10.
So Helium 10 and eRank for your keyword research for
Mhm.
Amazon. Okay, keep
Yep,
going.
yep, exactly. So I like to use those tools. I like to see, what's trending. Like, I like to think of what's coming up. Like right now we're getting into graduation season, wedding season, Mother's Day. You want to actually start planning for Mother's Day right now. So I'm thinking about all the buyer intent that's coming up, because I want to be positioned with the right keywords, ready for what people are looking for on these platforms on Amazon.
Okay, so let's say you're using eRank, you're using Helium 10, and you're searching around. And guys, we just don't have the time to get into literally all the detail that you want. So
Yeah, so much.
just hang tight. So you're doing your keyword research, and maybe you find like a niche that's going to work well. Then you move to creating a product that fits the niche, right? So that
Yeah,
includes
exactly.
the phrase, the design. How do you do all that?
Yeah. So next, I keep my designs super simple, which I think is pretty much what's preached everywhere for Facebook ads, everything. My designs often have just black or blue or white background. I keep it so simple because you don't want to distract the buyer. These platforms, anytime you add an element to a design on Etsy or Amazon, and same with Facebook too, it can easily distract the buyer. So the fewer things you have, the better, because you want them to focus on the message and having that emotional trigger through the message. So what I like to do when I am doing my design, I actually just reuse my designs over and over again. I don't really do anything special. Not really a secret.
They're like
It's
templates, basically.
they're templates. I might add like one element if I feel like it will really drive home the emotional impact. For example, military families are very, 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 very passionate group of people, and they do buy and they look and seek for military products. So adding a flag or something that has American pride would really create that emotional trigger and connection for those types of buyers, right? So in that situation, I might add something because I know that that connects with the buyer and the recipient, right? We have to think of both of those people. They're both our perfect people that we have to consider. And otherwise, most of my niches are just plain Jane. In terms of research, I like to see what's selling, and I like to kind of just get ideas to see where people have already gone.
Yeah, you're talking about like the phrases now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, phrases. So phrase
So when you're
research.
looking for phrases, you like to see kind of what's selling. Okay, keep
Yeah,
going.
I like to see what's selling, and then I like to tootle around on the internet and see what are people saying on Reddit or on Facebook, and
The
get
Toodle method.
the
I like
tootle
that.
method. I use the Toodle method, and I like to see, because it's amazing how much people will word vomit on the internet their deepest, most sincere feelings, and I will pull like things that people have written on their Facebook. Like if somebody's scrolling and does like a happy anniversary, it's like one of my friends, I'm like, oh, that's very sentimental. I'll just pull that and put that in my
Yeah, I got to tell
research
you,
list. And
you shared this one of the times we were on, and this is one of the more creative and powerful product research methods I think I've ever heard. You even talked about doing the open letter,
yeah,
open letter kind of stuff, where
yeah,
you search an open letter. I was just like, man, it's so powerful, because especially if you're new here, one of the things that like gets people to buy is we say that it's the phrase that pays, and if they cry, they'll buy. And the whole idea here is what moves the product is actually that phrase. The phrase is the most important element in this entire process. And if your phrase resonates emotionally with the buyer, if it expresses something inside of them or touches a chord with them, they'll be so much more likely to buy than anyone else, right? So it's like if you can get a phrase that's kind of packed full of that sentiment and it resonates emotionally, your chances of having a winning product are so much higher. So anyways, this open letter method, this seeing what your friend, these heartfelt messages your friends are putting on Facebook, it's just gold. It's just gold, and it's
yeah,
so
'cause
obvious. It's one of those things where it just smacks you in the head when you
right,
hear it.
every year I mean, every week you're gonna see something from a friend on Facebook, right? Like, happy birthday to my daughter, you're the blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh, well, thank you, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that,
It's such a good idea. So
yeah,
okay,
and
let's say
it's
you
so
find the
simple.
phrase. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to run you
Oh,
over.
no, it's fine. It's just we don't have to overthink it, and the important thing is you don't want to be Shakespeare. Like, that does not resonate with people using these big metaphors and like these big words that are difficult to say. Like, you can just keep it really heartfelt and simple, and you want it to be easily digestible for
Yeah.
people, and that is what will lead to an emotional
Yeah,
reaction, of
you
course, a
don't want a
conversion.
paragraph typically. It's like you want 2-3 sentences that are gonna just smack people. That's not to say the paragraphs won't work, right? It's just to
Yeah,
say like you want the maximum emotional impact in the fewest words possible is kind of
yeah,
the idea.
yeah. Paragraphs can actually work on Etsy and Amazon, but you do want to eliminate any fluffy words. If a word doesn't have any significance or it's distracting from like the emotional impact, yeah, that can be distracting and cannot work. But
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
I think I'm saying the same thing. It's about
sure.
it's about efficiency with your language,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
like you want that
exactly.
impact. And if it takes a paragraph to make somebody cry, but you know they're going to cry at the end of it, by all means,
Right.
right?
But you also
So
have to know your buyer to know if a paragraph is too much. Some buyers, like
no,
male
that's a good
buyers,
point.
that would be too much. They don't have the time or the bandwidth to sit and read this gushy paragraph, right? But a
Hey, now,
grandma does. A grandma wants to sit and just over her grandbaby. So it just depends on your buyer,
yeah,
and
it's a good point.
that's also part of the research, and considering your phrase is you really need to know who your buyer is, what's important to them, what's gonna um get their emotions going, and it is different it's different for people. It's different based on age, gender, relationship status. All that has an effect on how you do your message card.
So Anna, I want to be respectful of your time because we got
Okay,
about 20
we'll
minutes.
probably go over
So
a little bit. That's
let's
fine.
I'm gonna kind of speed up a little bit on the
Okay,
questions.
okay,
So
okay.
here's kind of the plan. I'm gonna speed up a little bit on the questions. We can try to lightning round your do's and don'ts list if you'd like.
Okay.
Like I guess we'll have to go super fast. And then also, if anybody has any questions, maybe we can try to sneak in some questions. So anybody, if you have questions, start jumping them into the comments now, and I'll try to kind of comb through some of those here in a minute. But just hang tight. We
Okay.
got
Okay. How
about
about
20 minutes
this?
left here. So
We
here,
can let people decide if they just want to do questions. I'm good if I bet we'll end up talking a lot, or if you want to pick like three of the talking points that I had sent
hey,
you.
this is my show,
Oh,
Anna.
sorry.
So
Sorry.
hang
I
on,
just
hang
want
on.
to help the
I
people.
just
I
got a
just want
new
to help
idea
the
though.
people.
I just got a new idea. Maybe
Okay.
we can poll the audience. That's
Okay.
probably a great idea. All right. So, look, if you want me to keep asking Anna, I'm trying to get through the end of this kind of like product listing process. If you want that, I want, let's think of an emoji.
Let's do a heart.
We'll do a heart in the chat. So if you want me to keep asking Anna questions, give me some hearts. If you'd rather us move to the do's and the don'ts and the Q&A, right? Let's get what else?
Smiley face. Keep it simple. Smiley
Give
face.
us a smiley face, right? So if you want us to get to Q&A faster, smiley face. If you want me to try to get through the end of this product listing creation stuff, give us some hearts. I'm not going anywhere until we get some results here. So hang on.
I'm sorry, I took over your show.
Yeah, I'm just having fun. Here's a heart. Don't know what that is. What is that?
Those are lips.
Those
I don't know what that means.
Sorry. Happy face. Uh-oh, I can't keep up anymore. I've lost them.
Okay.
It looks like the faces are winning, hands down.
Okay.
So nobody likes to hear me, I guess, talk. And that's okay. Now hang on. This person here, they are clever.
They're torn.
This is not a rule follower here. This is that. Oh man. All right. Okay. Yeah. Why don't we just get to Q&A then?
All right. Cool.
Should we do the do's and don'ts then at all? I mean, it kind of feels like
let's
Q&A.
Let's just talk about what people want to hear, right?
All right.
We've got a lot of burning questions.
Now, all your questions are way up the chat. So start dropping new questions, and I will start looking for some good ones here. So bear with me as I get caught up. I wasn't prepared for Anna to take over the show here, so trying to get caught up. I'm
just trying to think of the people.
Are you using the right amount of... So I'm going to, some of these, we'll do our best. Can we get an idea of potential sales volume when we think we hit the sweet spot? So that was that sweet spot between being too general, too specific, too broad, too niched.
Yeah, sure. So this is just really niche dependent. I think you need to look at it more of what's the potential and what your portfolio as a whole will look like. So when you're on Amazon and Etsy, you're going to be listing products regularly. If you list 20 products and then you're wondering why you're not getting sales, it's because you need to keep listing, you need to keep learning. And what will happen as you get better and you keep listing is you're going to have some listings that just rise to the top, and they are just going to be like your bread and butter. And it might only be 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4 or 5. And then you'll have some listings that sell maybe once a day, maybe once a week, maybe once a month. And then you'll have some that just randomly sell. And those will all add up too. And so it's hard to say like what's your potential, because everybody's goals are different. Some people only want to make an extra $1,000 a month. Maybe you're in a different country and that's like hitting the gold mine. Some people want this to be a full-time 6-figure income. So the key is to look at how can I grow my portfolio, and looking for a variety of winners across niches, and you'll see that your volume will just increase with your efforts.
Very good. Here's the next one. Can you elaborate more on GTIN? I will need you to explain what GTIN even is. Can you get a GTIN exemption to sell ShineOn products on Amazon?
Yeah, this is a really good question. So on Amazon, you're required to use a UPC code, which is a identifying barcode that goes on all products. But there are so many different ways of selling on Amazon now that Amazon has, it's not really new, but probably 4 or 5 years ago, they allowed you to get a GTIN exemption, which means that you are exempt from using a UPC code. And that's because so many people private label now that buying UPC codes just doesn't make sense. And Amazon has their own identification system and you use ASINs is their identification system. So UPCs are very, very expensive, and you don't want to have to use UPCs because they're a pain to set up. Again, they're expensive. And if you're listing so many listings, it really adds up fast. So by getting a GTIN exemption, and I don't know why GTIN overrides UPC, but it does. But if you get that exemption, then it eliminates the need for a UPC code. And you want that because you want to be able to list freely without having to deal with the UPC codes. So the answer is yes, you can get a GTIN exemption. It's quite easy. You just apply for it and you are good to go. So, and as far as I know, they used to ask for a letter from the manufacturer, but I was told by the staff that you don't even need that anymore. Like you can like skip that step if it is asked, or it doesn't even matter anymore. So it's pretty easy. It should take all of a couple minutes to do.
Okay. Do you adjust delivery time on Amazon? Do you have a cheat sheet for the terms of service?
Okay, I absolutely adjust my delivering time on Amazon because Amazon they expect their sellers to perform at their level. So if you say that you're going to ship in a certain amount of time, there is no exception to that. That's what you say you're going to do, and they expect you to do that. If you don't, that's when you can get in trouble. Now, obviously, there's like some wiggle room for mistakes, but they do watch your metrics as a seller. And if you keep having mistake after mistake after mistake, they will close your account down. So you have to change your handling times, because if you put that you could get your product out in 2 days and ShineOn doesn't get it out in 2 days, well, your account is going to start being in jeopardy after so many of these sales.
Isn't Etsy basically the same way?
Etsy is, but they're more forgiving because you have one extension before you're in their doghouse. And
Got
so
it.
generally you kind of can fill that out and make an accurate assumption. So on Amazon during the slow season, you could be at about 4 to 7 days for handling time to be safe. You could even, or like 4 to 5. And then on the holidays, I move mine 7 to 10 days because like you do not want your account shut down over this. It's not worth the perceived sales. And the whole point of testing through FBM is that eventually you're going to move your winning products, and they're going to become clear what's winning, and you're going to move them to FBA, and then the shipping doesn't matter as much. So be safe. And I don't have a cheat sheet for terms of first service, but the biggest thing is have good customer service, have your shipping times correct, and don't list on other people's listings. They will take you down. I take everybody that comes onto my listing down because it's not your listing, it's mine. And don't copy other people's work. Don't use anything that's related to pop culture, movies, books that are, everybody knows about. Yeah, like if it's in pop culture and everybody knows like the phrase or what you're referring to, then you're probably in a danger zone. Don't use it. And that's kind of the rough, like most of the problems that people run into.
Okay. Anna, please put together an Amazon how-to video.
Okay. I actually have my course being relaunched here in a couple weeks, and getting set up on Amazon isn't particularly, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but there are a lot of steps. And so I have that all set up in my course because unfortunately, I like to save some of my special sauces for people who are in my group. Because it like my PDF to get set up on Amazon is like 20 pages or something crazy. It's a lot. So anyways, so come to my Facebook group and you'll get the announcement when that's being relaunched, and you can join Amazon that way.
This Facebook user is hogging the mic here. I think we'll need a part 2.
I know. It's like we barely got through like making half of a listing.
Yeah, I know. I actually, I don't know. We'll get better at this. I'm about a year in. I'm still kind of learning how to.
Yeah. There's a lot, and we want to clarify it for everybody.
Let's see. Can we do FBM and FBA within one Amazon store or brand? Is that allowed?
Yep, absolutely. So when you have a product, you start it as FBM, and then you convert the condition to be FBA after you have determined that it is a good seller to sell, to move your products into FBA.
I'm probably going to get in a little bit of hot water for this next one, but so be it. I like to live dangerously. So how do you order in bulk from ShineOn for FBA?
This one blows people's minds. I just order from ShineOn like everybody else through the app. There's no secret to it. You just You go on the app, it's like creating a manual order. I create a manual order for myself, and it's, I can buy 100. Anybody could buy the products. So I just buy whatever I need and off it goes.
If you're going to make a big bulk order, we would appreciate it if you just reached out to us and kind of let us know a little bit ahead of time.
I actually learned this fourth quarter. I placed my big bulk order that I was trying to squeeze in the last minute, and like 2-3 days goes by, and I'm like, why isn't this going out? Another 4 or 5, and then I was like, Carlos, what's going on with this order? Why isn't it out? And he's like, oh no, it's so big. I was like, yeah, please hurry. So I have learned that, if you're doing a bulk order, definitely reach out and just confirm, like, hey, this has to be done in a certain time. And you need to plan ahead too. Don't try and send in all of your inventory like 2 weeks before a holiday. That won't work.
Yeah, I mean, look, we love you and we'll do our best to accommodate whatever you need. But it does help us too, because we're managing staff and employees and hours and orders that are coming in, and especially during the holidays, everybody is scaling during the holidays. So it's like on our end, you can imagine as an individual seller on a holiday when you're scaling every single day. Well, on our end, we got a ton of sellers that
You're
we're
scaling
trying to
everybody's
service,
scales.
and it gets crazy for us. So as much kind of leeway and heads up as you can give us on that, it's greatly appreciated. All right, 10 minutes to go. Let's keep going here.
All right.
Let's see. How many products do you send to Amazon as a test? So you do your testing with FBM.
Yeah. So let's clarify that then. I don't send products in as tests. I send my products in only if they've already made sales as a fulfilled by merchant product.
Got it.
That's what's amazing.
You validate on FBM.
That's why this is fun, guys. We're like selling on the biggest platform in the world, literally for pretty much free, testing out their audience. Like, everybody should be doing this. It's crazy. And then we test it out and we see, oh, this resonates, this sells, and then we get to use FBA. Like, crazy how big this opportunity is. Like, I know so many people. I mean, I don't know so many people, but I have read about plenty of people who were so excited to private label something. They buy all these things from China and then they realize it doesn't sell. Like, I've had stuff where when I was selling FBA and I was arbitraging that I sent in and it didn't sell, this solves that problem.
I know a guy that invented a humane mousetrap, right?
Okay.
So it's like a mousetrap that just kind of catches the little critter instead of killing it. So he invented it, finds a factory in China to make it, and he ordered like 10,000 of them. His basement is full of these things, and he cannot sell them. So
yeah, but guys, that's why this is like crazy. Like, you have the opportunity to test these things out without.
It goes back to, look, it really, I say it kind of tongue in cheek, but really, I do think we're probably sitting on one of the best and greatest entrepreneurial opportunities in the history of the world. And I really don't think that's too much of an exaggeration. I mean, take what Anna just said. You're selling on one of the largest marketplaces in the world, basically for free. You're getting free sales, like there's no advertising in it at all. And you're selling products that you didn't have to risk any of your own capital to create.
You don't have to hold any inventory.
You're selling to people you've never met before, products that you've never seen before, and you don't have to ship or fulfill anything. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's like a miracle that this even exists.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, when people come and they're hesitant and they're like, oh, I don't know. It's like, this can be a full-time income for people. Like, this is a real business, not something to bat an eye about. Like, it has real possibilities. It's amazing.
When I think about it, I don't know. It's like, it's difficult for me to really comprehend that it's reality. It's unbelievable.
Right. And in so many different ways. Like, you can do Facebook ads, you can do Amazon. I know I have a friend, she's on Etsy selling ShineOn products, just Etsy, and she is making a killing. And that's just on Etsy. I'm like, get on Amazon, get on Amazon. Like, if you're doing well on Etsy, you're going to go crazy on Amazon. But that's the reality of this. There's an opportunity for someone kind of everywhere if you're in the game and you're willing to,
Let's
yeah.
Let's do 2 more, and then
All right.
I'll wrap us up. Sound fair?
Yeah.
All right. So Max asks, is it Max? Yeah. When we start uploading when do we start uploading products for Mother's Day on Etsy? But let's answer it for Amazon too.
So I remember I worked the platforms at the same time. So the buyer intent really starts at the same time for both of them. And the answer is right now. You should be uploading right now. You should start strategizing right now, because what you want to see is you want to, put out a bunch of products. You want to take your time to do your research, and then you want to see what starts to sell, and you want to see what starts to kind of rise up that you want to spend more attention on. Like maybe you want to make some variations. Like if your product's doing well, you might want to test out some variations of that to see if you could find a stronger seller or something that sells in addition to what you already have. And you want that time, and people will start looking for Mother's Day at the end of February. It starts. It's not like crazy,
Yeah.
but you can see that you can feel the buyer intent start to change because you start getting sales on those kinds of products. So the answer is, now is the very earliest I would go. And then in the next month is when you really want to start digging in and getting ready on both platforms.
Okay. Last question. What is your number one do and your number one don't? We'll have to keep it kind of quick, so be mindful of the time.
Okay. Okay. Number one don't is, I guess there's 2 number one don'ts. It would be because both of them are equally bad, but
this guy should pay extra.
Yeah, exactly. Number one don't is don't infringe on people's trademarks and copyrights.
Okay.
I'm serious. That is like the biggest thing. And if people do it, like,
no,
I know
that's totally reasonable. I get it.
Yeah. Like I know the Grinch, there's that product that sold like crazy and it's the Grinch, and it's like that will get you kicked off because that's not your brand. That is clearly
also there are people really skirting the line with some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So that would be my number one, because those companies, they may not come after you within a year, but they eventually do, and they take those things down. And Amazon,
I thought your number one. I thought your number one was going to be don't steal other people's listings, and I was shaking my head because I'm like, do we even have to tell people that? It just seems crazy.
I know that seems crazy, but I probably, when I had my seller started happening, I probably spent 5 to 10 hours a week trying to figure out what to do about this problem, because it was so problematic. This is it is the uglier side of Amazon.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. My quick analogy for anybody who doesn't know what this is. Here's my quick analogy when I explain it to people. Imagine you walk into like a Target, and you like shop for something, you buy some ice cream or something like that, and then you're walking through the checkout line, and the person in the checkout line's wearing like a hoodie with dark shades and all this kind of stuff, and they're ringing out your stuff. But you notice as they're ringing you up, you can see like a little Walmart badge peeking through their little hoodie, and they're actually a Walmart employee that snuck their way into a Target, and they're stealing all the Target sales. That is what stealing the listing is, and it's amazing to me. It's shocking to me that Amazon even allows it. I don't understand how that's not locked down. But
well, I mean, we could go more into that, and there are ways to improve that and whatever. But the point is don't do that, because that will get you shut down. And the other thing I want to say is make sure that you have everything set up so that your orders are going out on time and you're doing customer service. Those are the 3 things that if you're maintaining, you're going to be safe. My number one do is, okay, I have 2 number one do's. Is first, be consistent. Like always be doing something, because I'll have people who will reach out to me and they're like, I've done 50 listings in 90 days and I've never sold on e-commerce before. I don't know why I don't have my first sale. It's like, well, because 30 days ago or even maybe 90 days ago, you had never even known that print on demand existed.
Yeah, you just made 50 low quality newbie listings.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you're not going to see anything. It's a business. I mean, some people could even go to like a whole college degree for this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, you know, your first day playing baseball, taking 50 cracks at the ball and being upset you never hit a home run. You know what I
Yes,
mean? It's like,
yes.
well, yeah, you need to
Like,
put some time in first.
yeah, exactly. And, some people get lucky, some people have some natural knacks, but most people don't. You have to learn these skills. You have to show up and do the boring stuff. Like, it's actually pretty boring listing products. It's just boring. But you have to be willing to do that. The other thing I would say is don't just try and always chase somebody else's winner, because you'll never have your own winner. So what I mean by that is, if you're looking at products for research, really think about what is going to make your product unique. You don't want to just have like, the same message with a variation, like a blue background that's just a little bit lighter than the other person's, with a different cursive font compared to their cursive font. Like, you might get some sales from that, but it's not a sustainable business model. So, and that's just not an exciting way to run business. You want to be creative, you want to be thoughtful, you want to bring new things to the market. And the more I talk to sellers over this last year, I am more convinced that the more original and creative and thoughtful you can be. And there's different ways that you can do that. And I've learned that through different sellers. But the more original and creative and specific you can be, the better conversion you will have and the better your store will perform. And you'll be able to withhold other competition, because you really start to understand your niche and you have something different. And then there's more, strategies to that for scaling.
No,
But
by the way, I totally agree with you on that. It's you're the first mover on it, and you get like a first mover advantage when it's your phrase, you know?
Yep.
So
anytime that I like my first print on demand product I made, I talked about this. It was 4 years ago when I started on Merch by Amazon. I was the first person to enter this niche, literally the first person. I absolutely know I was the first person. And I have made every year in October on that niche $10,000 to $20,000 in profit, because I was the first person.
yeah, that's
And
awesome.
that could last my whole life. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm like 5 years into it and it's still happening. So that's the potential when you are creative and you're doing something that is unique compared to your competitor. So those are my do's and don'ts.
Well, thank you very much for that,
My
Anna.
pleasure.
Let me,
Yeah.
I've got a few super quick announcements, and then we're going to wrap this up. If you guys appreciate Anna coming on today, Anna, what's your favorite emoji? You have one of those, right?
I love the heart eye emoji because it's so happy and it's like bursting with happiness.
Come on, give us some heart eye emojis.
Yes.
If you love Anna, you want her to come back, let's get some heart eye emojis.
Thank you.
Let's see if we get maybe like 100 of those. Will you come back on a second time?
Yeah, of
100
course.
of them. 100,
Yeah.
but I'm not counting them. So
We can,
when it looks
okay.
like 100, you
We'll
guys can
just-
stop.
Yeah, we'll have a part 2, and of course you can join me in my Facebook group. I'm pretty active in there, so come over to High Profit Pod ShineOn Selling Strategies, and you can learn more there. And the group's super involved and super active, so you can also join us there.
Yeah,
until I'm back.
Yeah,
if I'm invited back.
We love Anna's group, by the way.
Thank you.
So don't feel like you're betraying us by going over to her group. We're all one big happy family here. High tide raises all ships. It's kind of how we see it.
Yeah.
So Anna, thank you very much for swinging by. A few kind of quick things as we head towards the door here. If you are a seller with us and you've achieved 100 sales, right? You can actually share ShineOn with friends and earn money. Right. So at 100 sales, you get kind of an achievement unlocked. You'll get a super special referral link. To get to it inside of the ShineOn platform, go to referrals and then, go to analytics and then referrals. And then the top right, you're going to see your special referral link. This is unique to you. If you share this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, all these people I know would just dying to hear about ShineOn, and they join and make sales, you'll make money. I think you'll make 75 cents a unit. And we've had some people make lots and lots of money on this. And man, I had some numbers at the tip of my tongue last week, but I think we've got somebody that's done over 6 figures just in referral sales. which is incredible, right? So don't sleep on this. You can share it in your favorite ecom groups. If you have a little ecom circle of trust with your friends, you can share it with them. Wherever you want to share it, feel free. But you can earn some extra money by telling your friends about us. All right. Until next time, if you're watching this and you haven't signed up for ShineOn yet, you're missing out on the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity in the history of the world. So you need to get on that. Go to ShineOn.com. You can sign up in like 60 seconds. If you're on YouTube watching this live right now and you're not on Facebook, there is seriously something wrong with your head. You need to get examined. Go to our Facebook group. You can go to bit.ly/GoShineOn and join our Facebook group. It's the #1 ecom Facebook group. Engage what is it? It's the most engaged. There we go. It's the most engaged e-commerce Facebook group in the world. And we actually did the analytics on that, and we can prove it out. So go join our Facebook group. You're missing out on a whole lot of fun if you're not in it. If you're watching on, let's see, did I do this backwards? No, I don't know. I'm confused now. I'm at the end of my rope. All right. So join our Facebook, join our YouTube, and go follow us on Instagram. All right. There. You happy, people? Thank you, everybody, for joining. Anna, thanks for spending the time with us. It's always great to have you on.
Thank you.
And until next time, everybody, have a great weekend. Take care.
Next time.